Are you on track with your sales goals? Do you even have sales goals? In this video, I'm going to walk you through the best way to create sales goals that you can actually achieve and that will help you sell more. And make sure you stay tuned to the end. There's a bonus tip I include as always, because I want you to watch this to the end. I want you to take all these strategies and actually apply them. Hi, I'm Shawn Casemore, and I help you learn how to be a top performing sales professional so that you can earn more money in less time. If that sounds good to you, make sure you click the like on this button, hit subscribe, and you'll be notified each and every time I release a new video, which is typically every week. All right, whether you're new to sales or maybe you're a top performing sales professional already and just trying to keep your game at the top level, you need to have sales goals. Goals are what drive you forward. They keep you progressing towards the level that you want to achieve, whether that's number of units sold, salesman of the year, saleswoman of the month, whatever the case might be, whatever you want to achieve, goals are what will get you there.
They're exclusive with Staples.
Used to be. Evan will call you in the morning to work out the details. We can now sell Hammer Mill products.
Yes!
But here's the thing. There's a methodology in which you can set goals to make sure you achieve them. There's a key to this. And it's not about writing them down all the time, okay? I'm gonna walk you through the practices I use with my coaching clients and the groups that I train to show them how to set sales goals that'll actually drive you forward, that you can achieve, but that will help you keep progressing in your sales game. So let's get into it. When it comes to setting sales goals, you need to have what I call bookends. The bookend is this. It's the fact that a goal needs a range. When we make a goal black or white, yes or no, it can become very difficult because what happens if we get very, very close? We work hard, we don't quite get there. Now we don't get to celebrate success. We don't get to celebrate a win. So for that reason, I suggest that everybody that I work with in sales, when they set their goals, set a goal range, set those bookends. What's the minimum goal? What's the maximum goal? Use those bookends. And so therefore, if we achieve the minimum, great, we hit our goal, but we still have room to grow. We still have room to go towards an even better goal, an even higher goal, which is our maximum. Now, if we achieve that, we need to move those bookends over. But chances are you're going to end up somewhere between bookend on the left and bookend on the right? That minimum versus maximum. You still then have something you can celebrate, and most importantly, you have a goal that you can achieve, but something that'll keep you progressing towards a higher level. So make sure you set bookends for every single goal so there's a range you can play with that will help you strive for more. And before I jump into number 2, there's something else to mention on having that goal range. You see, sometimes the unexpected happens.
Now look, you didn't even see that coming, did you?
There are things that we can't predict. So when we set this goal range, we account for the unpredictable. We account for other things happening, but still have a good chance of hitting that minimum, hitting that left bookend. Now, the second thing I want to share with you when it comes to setting goals that are effective, that you can achieve, that will help you move forward in sales, you want to be thinking about reminding yourself constantly of your goals, constantly being reminded of your goals, regardless of where you're at. So what does that look like? Well, yes, you do have to write them down, but I'm not a fan of writing them down multiple times a day. Why? Because I'm writing the same thing, and after a while, I get bored. Let's be honest, okay? But if you write them down once, write them down very clearly, okay? I want to achieve X by, and I'll talk about a format in a second here. Then put them everywhere you can so that they become subconsciously absorbed. So here's what I mean. If you carry a planner of some kind, maybe print them, stick them in that cover. So every time you go past, you open your book and go past them, there they are. Put them on a sticky note next to your computer. Put them on a sticky note or a piece of paper above your computer on the wall or next to your computer. Make sure, I've seen people laminate them, put them right on their desktop. Anywhere you spend time, make sure your goals are there in written form for you to reference. Why? Because subconsciously our mind is always working. Our subconscious works more than our conscious mind. So as a result of that, if we start to place these goals in different places that we're at, we absorb these goals whether or not we're thinking about them in the moment or not. So make sure you place your goals everywhere you are to get that subconscious mind involved and engaged in your goal setting. Now, if you're enjoying these tips, make sure you click the like button on this video. Comment below with what you use, what strategies or methods do you use to set goals for yourself that work. And click the subscribe button. You can stay up to date when I release each and every video, which is typically every single Tuesday. Let's talk about the format of your goals, as I mentioned to you before. I'm a fan of what I call the W3 approach to goal setting. The W3 approach is what, by who, by when. So if I was to break that down, let's say I want to sell $1 million worth of widgets, okay, by the end of the year. A W3 approach to writing out that goal is I'm going to achieve, or I'm going to sell $1 million worth of widgets by December 31st of whatever the current year is, okay? So that's who, and then the what is sell $1 million worth of widgets by such and such a date. Very simple. W3, it's the best method to setting goals because they remain very clear. And if you want to measure this, if you want to make sure your goals are clear, give them to somebody who doesn't know you that well and say, read this, does it make sense to you?
That doesn't make sense to me.
So if you're writing a paragraph, if you're writing half a page of goals, like of one goal, that's a problem. They should be very succinct, very clear. That will allow you to stay clear in your goals and to ensure you progress and measure your success towards them. Now, you've heard me say in other videos, I'm not a big fan of standing in front of the mirror and trying to motivate myself in that manner. But what I am a fan of doing is talking to other people. So if you set a goal, you need to share it with people. The more people you share it with, the more accountability to yourself you create. So you can share it with your spouse, your partner, your friends, you can share it with coworkers, you can share it with your boss, right? Heck, you can share it with your customers if it makes sense. But if you write a goal, if you write your sales goals and then you keep them hidden, or maybe you put them around your computer in your book, but you don't tell anybody about it, there is no accountability. It's pretty easy to take a marker or your hand and just rip that piece of paper and throw it in the garbage. But as soon as I tell somebody, periodically, and the more people I tell, periodically somebody's going to say, hey, how are you doing towards those goals? How are those goals coming along? That's what I want. Even if I'm not progressing as much as I'd like, it keeps me accountable and it keeps me focused. So the next rule when it comes to being successful, setting goals in sales that you can succeed at, you want to make sure you share them openly. Now, if those goals are sensitive, meaning there's some confidential information in there, you may not, share them with your customer. I wouldn't suggest that, but share them with peers, share them with your boss, share them with coworkers. Share them with your partner, your spouse, your friends, whoever you can. The more people you share with, the more accountability you'll have to yourself to pursue those goals with as much rigor as you possibly can. Okay, here's a little bit of a bonus for you, and I think this is critically important. And a lot of the coaching work I do, I find a lot of people don't really celebrate when they achieve their goals. So they set a goal range, right, which accounts for variation, things that you didn't expect, etc. They hit the goal, and then they go on to the next thing. They just keep going. And I'll give you an example of this. I had a very bad habit in goal setting, and probably still have it to this day. I tend to move the goal. That's where I come up with this idea of these bookends. I would set a goal of A, and as I got close to A, I'd say, well, that's probably not a hard enough goal or difficult enough for me to achieve. And I'd set B. And so I'd surpass A, never celebrate anything, keep working towards B. Then I'd move C. And I just keep going. And guess what happens eventually? I never achieve any goals. And then at the end of it, I said, well, this goal setting sucks, right? It doesn't work for me. Well, it's because I was moving the goal. You can't move the goalposts. They're in concrete. They're stuck.
It's got to get it at the right angle.
Right? So there's another way to think about this. So when it comes to setting goals, set them in max, set the goal posts, if you will, those bookends, and then stick with them. Don't change them. And as you achieve success towards those goals, celebrate it. Stop. Recognize that, hey, I did this. This is great, because it's those rewards that are going to keep us motivated, which I've talked about in other videos, in order to keep progressing and keep moving forward in our goals. So make sure you stop and celebrate your success as you're moving forward in your goals. Don't do what I did and keep moving the goalposts. If you want to be successful in sales, you'll need a way to set and track your goals. I created the 30-day action sales planner. There's a link down below. There's no cost to you, but I created it as a way to help my coaching clients and those like you in order to keep on track with your goals and all the activities behind them to achieve them. So make sure you click the link below, grab your copy, no obligation, no cost at all. It's my way to try and help you become a top performing sales professional. If you're trying to up your sales game, you probably want to increase your influence. It's one of the fastest ways to sell more. So make sure you check out this video next on how to build your sales influence so you can become more successful in selling. Until next time, why don't you get out there, let's go sell something, shall we? Talk to you soon. Take care.